Live from New Delhi, you're watching the India Live, India's voice to the world with me, Deepika, coming up in the next half an hour. Israel accuses Iran of firing missile armed with cluster bombs, vows to retaliate. Trump faced US involvement in conflict to make decision within 2 weeks. Amid escalating West Asia tensions, European powers to hold nuclear talks with Iran in Geneva to press for a diplomatic solution over Tehran's nuclear program. Russia and Ukraine exchange another batch of prisoners under an agreement struck in Istanbul. Moscow rejects Ukrainian calls for an unconditional ceasefire at the talks. And Erick makes a landfall as Category 3 hurricane, the strongest to hit Mexico so early in the year, brings life-threatening flooding and mudslides, leaves a trail of damage. And in sports, it's baptism with fire for Shubman Gill as he starts captaincy for the Indian cricket team in England. First test starts in Leeds today as India seeks to find form without Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. A very good morning to all the viewers joining us at this morning broadcast. To begin with the latest, another day of attacks, counter-attacks and bombarding continued between Iran and Israel. Week-old conflict seems to be escalating with each passing day with no sign yet of an exit strategy from either of the side. Now, Israel attacked Iranian Special Forces headquarters of the internal security apparatus in Tehran and bombed nuclear targets. Israeli military strikes hit Iran's Khandop heavy water research reactor, a project under construction that had not begun operating, and damaged the nearby plant that makes heavy water. Earlier, Israel said it had struck Iran's Natanz and Isfahan nuclear sites. It also targeted the partially built Arak heavy water research reactor, also known as Khandop, in central Iran. Well, it was in response to Iran firing missiles and drones at Israel. It accused Iran of deliberately targeting civilians in the hospital attack by using a missile that scattered smaller bombs over a wider area. It was the first reported use of cluster munitions in the 7-day-old conflict. Now, one of the small munitions struck a home in central Israeli town of Ezer, causing some of the damage. Cluster bombs are controversial because they indiscriminately scatter submunitions, some of which can fail to explode and kill or injure long after a conflict ends. Iranian strikes also damaged the Soroka Medical Center in Israel's southern city of Beersheba. Amid the conflict, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Thursday that the change or fall of the Iranian regime was not a goal of Israel's military campaign, but could occur as a result.
Our primary objective is to stop the nuclear program and remove it as a threat. The second goal is to halt the advancement of ballistic capabilities, also to remove it as a threat. In the process, it's clear the regime is destabilizing. We are also hitting government-related targets and centers of power. But the matter of regime change is, first and foremost, up to the Iranian people. There is no shortcut to that. Therefore, I have not set it as an official or declared goal. It may be a result, but it is not an explicit objective of our operation.
US President Donald Trump has kept the world guessing on his plans, veering from proposing a swift diplomatic solution to suggesting the US might join the fighting on Israel's side, but that may take 2 weeks to decide. Citing a message from Donald Trump, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt informed the reporters about Trump's plan.
In light of that news, I have a message directly from the President, and I quote, "Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks.
Now, she also said that Trump was interested in pursuing a diplomatic solution with Iran, but his top priority was ensuring that Iran could not obtain a nuclear weapon. She said US officials remained convinced that Iran had never been closer to obtaining a nuclear weapon.
Let's be very clear. Iran has all that it needs to achieve a nuclear weapon. All they need is a decision from the supreme leader to do that. And it would take a couple of weeks to complete the production of that weapon, which would, of course, pose an existential threat, not just to Israel, but to the United States and to the entire world. And that is something that the entire world, including countries like Russia, is in agreement with, that Iran should not and cannot obtain a nuclear weapon.
The foreign ministers of Britain, France and Germany, known as the E3, will meet with the European Union's top diplomat Kaja Kallas at Germany's permanent mission in Geneva. France, Germany, Britain and the European Union were all signatories of the 2015 nuclear agreement with Iran that Trump sunk during his first term in the office. The European Union's Kallas, in coordination with European countries, has insisted that diplomacy remains the best path towards ensuring that Iran does not develop a nuclear bomb. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi would also join these talks on his country's nuclear program with his counterparts. Now, Ukraine and Russia exchanged prisoners of war on Thursday. Officials from both the countries said that the latest round of swaps under an agreement struck in Istanbul. During the talks, the first direct negotiations between the sides in 3 years, both the countries agreed to free more than 1,000 prisoners of war from each of the side, all wounded, ill or under the age of 25. Russia's defense ministry confirmed the exchange, posting pictures of soldiers draped in Russian flags, cheering and waving. Zelensky posted similar photos of freed Ukrainian soldiers, crying, smiling and calling the loved ones after being swapped. In Istanbul, Moscow and Kyiv also reached a deal to repatriate more than 6,000 dead Ukrainian soldiers, with several stages of the handover carried out in recent weeks. While Moscow has rejected Ukrainian calls for an unconditional ceasefire at the talks, demanding instead that Kyiv cede more territory and renounce Western military support as a precondition for peace. Well, Canada is set to introduce new tariff measures to counter global overcapacity and unfair trade in steel and aluminium, Prime Minister Mark Carney announced on Thursday. Now, this follows US President Donald Trump's decision to double tariffs on imported steel and aluminium to 50%, a move that could significantly impact Canada, which is the largest exporter of these metals to the US. Calling the US move as destabilizing, Carney said Canada will impose tariff rate quotas equal to 2024 import levels on steel from countries without free trade agreements, aiming to protect its domestic market. He also revealed plans to adjust existing counter tariffs on the US metal products starting the 21st of July. Carney and Donald Trump have agreed to finalize a new economic and security agreement within 30 days.
Canada will adjust its existing counter tariffs on U.S. steel and aluminum products on the 21st of July, at the end of that 30-day period, in other words. We're going to adjust them to levels consistent with the progress that's made at that point on the broader trading arrangements with the United States. Secondly, we will implement reciprocal procurement rules, ensuring that only Canadian producers and producers from trading partners that provide Canada with tariff-free reciprocal access through trade agreements can compete for federal government procurement of steel and aluminum.
US President Donald Trump had given social media platform TikTok another 90 days to find a non-Chinese buyer or be banned in the United States. Trump on Thursday announced on his platform Truth Social that a deal for the sale of TikTok in the US by ByteDance must now be reached by the 17th of September. Responding to the deadline extension, short video app TikTok said in a statement, and I quote them, "We are grateful for President Trump's leadership and support in ensuring that TikTok continues to be available," unquote. Now, this marks the third such extension by the president since taking the office. Now, Hurricane Erick brought heavy rainfall and flooding to Mexico's Guerrero coast on Thursday, despite weakening after making landfall as a major hurricane along the southern Pacific coast. The weakened storm left a trail of damaged businesses and flooded streets across Guerrero state, with residents surveying the aftermath as the authorities warned that Erick's intense rain remained dangerous. Flooding from the storm affected La Bucana beach, damaging coastal businesses and submerging streets. Mexico's Civil Protection Agency confirmed that no deaths were immediately reported from the hurricane, but warned of continued risk from heavy rainfall as the storm moved inland. Erick weakened to a tropical storm after making a landfall as a major hurricane, leaving flooded streets, damaged boats and buildings in Oaxaca. Heavy rains plunged the southernmost Brazilian state of Rio Grande do Sul into the floodwaters this week, bringing back memories of the 2024 fatal floods. The state's civil defense issued a red alert for swelling risks at the river until Friday. Rio Grande do Sul's government informed that most of the northern and central parts of the state were in red and orange alert after the rainy weather started on the 16th of June. The Legido city, the river rose to 22.63 meters, surpassing the 19-meter flood stage. Families near flooded areas were moved to the shelters, and authorities warned that moderate to strong rains could bring up to 80 mm of rainfall daily. Now in the year 2024, intense rainfall in Rio Grande do Sul triggered floods that claimed the lives of at least 180 people. Time to take a short break, but still to come on the other side. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to be on a 3-state visit for 2 days from Friday. Launch of multiple development projects in Bihar and Odisha on the plan. Up next, we'll get you a report on how the world is gearing up for International Yoga Day 2025.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching DD India Live. Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be on a 3-state visit for 2 days from Friday, a tour that will include the launch of multiple development projects in Bihar and Odisha and his participation in a mass yoga program on International Day of Yoga from Visakhapatnam. Our next report tells you about the details of what Prime Minister Modi is going to do during his visit to the states of Bihar and Odisha on Friday, the 20th of June.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting the eastern Indian states of Bihar, Odisha on Friday. The Prime Minister's first stop will be Bihar, where he will lay the foundation stone and inaugurate multiple development projects in Siwan around noon. The projects are expected to give a major boost to infrastructure and socio-economic development in the region. The Prime Minister will inaugurate the new Vaishali-Deora railway line project worth over 400 crore rupees and flag off a new train service on this route. Additionally, PM Modi will also flag off the Vande Bharat Express between Patliputra and Gorakhpur via Muzaffarpur and Betia to improve connectivity in North Bihar. Furthering the vision of Make in India, Make for the World, Prime Minister will also flag off the first state-of-the-art locomotive built at Marhaura plant for export to the Republic of Guinea. As part of conservation and rejuvenation plan of River Ganga, Prime Minister will inaugurate 6 sewage treatment plants under the Namami Gange project worth over 1,800 crore rupees, catering to the needs of the people in the region. Also, in a major boost to power infrastructure in the region, PM Modi will lay the foundation stone for a 500 megawatt battery energy storage system BESS capacity in Bihar. Later, Prime Minister will visit Bhubaneswar in Odisha and chair a function marking the completion of 1 year of the BJP government in Odisha in the evening.
On June 20, this visit marks not only the first anniversary of BJP government in Odisha, but also his first trip to the state after the success of Operation Sindoor.
For Odisha's holistic development, the Prime Minister will also inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of multiple development projects worth over 18,600 crore rupees. These projects will cover critical sectors including drinking water, irrigation, agricultural infrastructure, health infrastructure, rural roads and bridges, sections of national highways, and a new railway line. The train service extending rail connectivity to both districts for the first time will be inaugurated by the Prime Minister. In a major boost to clean energy and sustainable transportation, PM Modi will flag off 100 electric buses under the Capital Region Urban Transport System, supporting a modern, eco-friendly urban mobility network. With inputs from Dheeraj Kumar in Patna and Somesh Patel in Bhubaneswar, Bureau Report, DD India.
Union Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal, who is on a visit to the United Kingdom, held a productive meeting with Chancellor of the Exchequer Rachel Reeves. Both the leaders discussed avenues for collaboration in financial framework, sustainable finance and unlocking new trade opportunities to further strengthen the India-UK economic partnership. The minister had an engaging discussion with Oliver Prill, the CEO of Tide, a business financial platform based in the United Kingdom. With India's massive strides in the digital world, both of them discussed the fintech ecosystem, digital empowerment and fostering SME-led growth across both the economies. Earlier on Thursday, Union Minister Piyush Goyal delivered the keynote address at the IGF main stage plenary session titled From Agreement to Action, the UK-India FTA. The Union Minister reaffirmed India's commitment to transitioning the FTA from a negotiated text into a transformative economic partnership. And now let's get you the latest from the world of sports. India is all set to face England in Leeds to first of the 5-match test series that begins from today onwards. Going ahead in the match, India would like to continue their domination over England in the longest format of the game, having lost a series against them since 2021. As far as England is concerned, the Ben Stokes-led side would hope to reclaim India versus England series trophy, which has eluded them for a few years. Now, historically, England and India have played 135 tests, with England winning 51, India 35 and 50 ending in draws. And with both the teams brimming with confidence, an exciting match is expected in Leeds. Moving on. As the world gears up for the upcoming International Day of Yoga, our next section tells you about this ancient Indian practice. Yoga is India's elixir of humanity. It is about plugging into an uninterrupted source of power by going within. Now, this year's observance marks the 11th anniversary of the Global Yoga celebration and casts a spotlight not just on the philosophy of yoga, but also on specific asanas or postures that seamlessly integrate into daily lives, offering tangible benefits for physical and mental health. Our next report brings you more details. Take a look.
Beyond the elaborate sequences often seen in advanced yoga practices, many fundamental asanas hold immense power for elevating the everyday stresses and strains of modern living. Consider the Adho Mukha Svanasana or downward-facing dog that lengthens and decompresses the spine, stretches the hamstrings and strengthens the arms. It's a full body reset, often providing a much-needed energizing stretch after long hours of sitting. For those battling the common woes of back pain and stiffness, the gentle flow of Marjaryasan, Bithilasan, or the cat-cow stretch offers remarkable relief. This dynamic duo of poses, moving between spinal flexion and extension, warms the back and improves flexibility, easing tension that often accumulates in the spine. Mental well-being is significantly bolstered by certain asanas. The deeply restorative Balasana or the child's pose serves as an immediate antidote to stress, promoting relaxation, by gently releasing tension in the back, neck, and shoulders. It encourages an inward focus, helping to restore energy and calm the mind amidst daily demands. Finally, the often underestimated Shavasana or the corpse pose, typically the concluding posture in most yoga practices, is arguably one of the most vital. It's a deep relaxation pose that calms the mind, releases stress, and aids in grounding, allowing the body and mind to fully absorb the benefits of the preceding practice. As communities worldwide engage in mass yoga demonstrations, these accessible asanas serve as a reminder that profound benefits of yoga are not reserved for the agile or the experienced. They are readily available, offering practical tools for enhancing physical health, elevating stress, and fostering a sense of inner peace in the tapestry of our everyday lives. Bureau Report, DD India.
Well, yoga is extremely popular worldwide and its popularity has grown significantly over the past few decades. People are drawn to yoga for physical fitness, flexibility, stress relief, mental well-being, spiritual growth and its therapeutic benefits for conditions like anxiety, back pain and hypertension. Social media, wellness trends and celebrity endorsements have helped spread its popularity. Nazneen Ismail reports from South Africa.
Yoga, a practice born in ancient India, is now a global wellness movement. From Jaipur to Johannesburg, people are turning to it for better health, stress relief and mental clarity. The theme for this year's International Day of Yoga is Yoga for One Earth, One Health. And how has the popularity of yoga increased in these years within South Africa?
Initially, when we started our yoga journey, when I came here in 2018, we had around 200-300 people attending our International Day of Yoga. And today, last year, the yoga event that we did at Wondra Stadium, we had more than 8,000 people participating. So you can understand how popular it has become in these days.
Mayaji, if yoga was a food, what would it be?
If yoga was a food, it would have been definitely a sattvic food that would help everyone stay healthy and happy.
The High Commission of India, together with the Consulates General in Johannesburg, Durban and Cape Town, hosted a series of yoga events across South Africa in the lead up to the 11th International Day of Yoga, highlighting the importance of yoga in promoting both mental and physical well-being.
Yoga is popular in Ireland. You'll find it a lot in gyms. There's a lot of different studios opening up.
As president of the International Diplomatic Spouses Association in South Africa, and myself coming from Paraguay where yoga is a growing practice, I would like to thank India for this beautiful gift they've given to the world and to us. So thank you very much. Namaste and be peaceful.
The United Nations declared 21st June as International Day of Yoga, a sign of its global cultural significance.
Yoga is not just some exercise. It is something far beyond physical exercise. It is all about your mind, your spirit, your soul, your food, your diet. It's all combined. And as the teacher explained, it is a way to reach the ultimate spiritual enlightenment.
Technology is helping yoga find new followers. The online yoga market has surged with apps, virtual classes, and social media, making it easier than ever for people to join from home. The journey of yoga to the world is not just about fitness, it's a cultural bridge connecting ancient traditions to modern lifestyles. For DD India, Johannesburg, South Africa, I'm Nazneen, bringing you balance, one breath at a time.
And that's all for this edition of DD India Live. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download it right now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I am Deepika, and from all of us here in New Delhi, thank you so much for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.